center on this one. Good job, Josh. There we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Everybody's looking grand. You guys are fantastic. All he is. Now, welcome to the final push of the Paint with Josh brushes. That's what we're going to be using today. Just the Paint with Josh brush kit, which is a gorgeous kit. Comes in a collectible box, foam-fitted brushes. They're amazing. So that's what we're going to use today. Now, this one's a pretty brand new set. I've used it once or twice before because I didn't want to get a brand new one dirty. Look at this guy. And let me tell you everything I've done to my canvas so far so you can do the same thing to your canvas and be ready to go. Right? So we have a 16 by 20 inch black canvas. I took the liquid clear, covered the whole thing, then wiped off the excess. Then we did Indian yellow from the top to the bottom, and then crimson from the bottom to the top, and kind of mix them in between. So we're gonna grab a little touch of our liquid white. We don't need too much, that's probably too much, but we don't need too much. We can always go back and add more, right? You guys, all you gotta do is just check in, tell me where you're watching from. We're promoting these brushes today because there's only a few kits left. And if you don't get over there and get your Paint with Josh brushes, I don't know what you're doing with your life. What have you been doing? Do you not have your brush kit yet? Do you want it? My mods will tell you exactly how to go get these brushes and to show you that even with Paint with Josh brush, we can do an entire painting with these gorgeous things. Now, the liquid white is activating all of those colors underneath. Isn't that a gorgeous transformation? Just quite literally gorgeous. We're working back up a little bit, getting some more of that liquid white off of the top, working it back down, letting it ignite those colors below, right? You can crisscross. You can do anything you can with those Paint with Josh brushes. They are quite honestly amazing. I love them for grass. We use our Paint with Josh fan brush for trees, pine trees all the time. We're gonna use that Paint with Josh fan brush for this big old willow tree. So I hope you're ready. I've only done it once before. I practiced it earlier today. And you can grab that painting. It's available on my place over there, again, which the mods will tell you how to get to. Right below this painting, which is the very first thing you're gonna see, is going to be the link for the brushes, which are right there, and then it's gonna be the painting that we did before. So if you wanna check out what it might look like, what it may turn out to be, you can head over there and find that. Now we're gonna grab our Paint with Josh actually, excuse me, let's grab our Paint with Josh palette tool first, right? We're going to mix up a whole bunch of our Paint with Josh plaque mix. Not a whole bunch, I guess. Right? Everyone's version of a whole bunch is a little bit different. But as you can see, we've got 1 part black, 2 parts crimson, 2 parts blue, and if we mix those guys together, it makes a very purplish black color that we call Paint with Josh plaque. And as I'm mixing this up, you guys tell me where you're watching from out there. See if we have craft ammo in the building, and we'll be looking fine, right? I'm gonna mix this, you tell me where you're watching from. Just check in. Let's see, guys. Let's see. Hey, craft ammo's in the building over there on the tube. So they're gonna be updating us with how many brush kits are left as we do this thing. Now, there's a code that you can put in, which is Josh20, which will get you 20%, right, off the normal, only during the live show. So you have to get over there and get them now. And if you're watching over on the tube, you'll be able to interact with Craft Ammo themselves, which are the manufacturers of the Paint with Josh brushes, right? Now we're gonna get in here with our big old fan brush, the number 8, I had to double check, because my fan brushes that I use all the time, the original Paint with Josh one, right? These guys, the lettering has worn off because I use it so much, right? It doesn't even look like the same brush. Trust me, it is. 1,000,000% the same. And even after like 1,000 paintings, this one still looks like this when it used to look like that, literally, right? These brushes are amazing. I'm not even kidding. And we use the Paint with Josh fan brush for literally everything, you guys. All sorts of stuff. So let's get it nice and sharp, as you can see. Almost disappears. Almost looks like a liner brush over there, right? Now let's create just some basic shapes of our branches just by using the brush. Ooh, look at how sharp. When it's new, boy oh boy, they stay sharp. Look at that big old stick out there, right? Now you can do your variation on this paint. It doesn't have to be the exact same thing. Right, so we're making a little bit bigger around the trunk, bigger, right? All depends on how big you want. We're only gonna do 1 tree on this whole canvas, so it better be pretty big, in my opinion. Let's head out that way. Let's drop off a couple branches up here. Who knows? We're going to extend them longer than this, right? Even though the Paint with Josh fan brush makes an insanely sharp line. Look at that. That's with a fan brush, guys. Literally, right? Show me a fan brush that does that. The Paint with Josh fan brushes. Now, if I want it to get a little bit bigger, of course, we're going to push a little harder on that guy. Maybe add a little bit of thing here. Maybe pop out a little thing there. And now let's go grab our liner brush. the famous Paint with Josh liner, the one that everybody wants, the old liner brush. We're gonna make this guy a little thicker too. Just why not? Seriously, you can have branches wherever. We're gonna cover over 90% of all of these branches, okay? Now, let's get a brand new Paint with Josh liner brush, quite literally brand spanking new. I'm gonna grab a little touch of our odorless mineral spirits. And remember, if you get, I almost forgot to mention, if you make an order through Craft Ammo during the live show, using the code, you'll be entered in to win a signed brush kit sent directly from me to you. I've got it sitting right here. I can show it to you if you want to see it. You just got to let me know in the comments. Let me know if you want to see the brush kit, right? And if you get yours, you get your Paint with Josh brushes during the live show, right, through Craft Ammo over there, right? Then you'll be entered in to win a signed brush kit. It's gonna be really cool. Now with the Paint with Josh liner brush, the thicker you press, the bigger the shape. The lighter that you touch it, the thinner and thinner and thinner you can make those brushes or brush lines almost literally invisible. How do you want yours to look? How deep, how dark, how long do you want it to extend out into the night? Right? It's all up to us. All it is a little of our odorless mineral spirits on the Paint with Josh liner brush. And the more you do, the more you do, right? Let's get a little bit more of our odorless mineral spirits, which is the drippy brush cleaner, right? It's that chemical cleaner that we use in order to clean the oil off of the brushes. You have to have that stuff. Man, that one's looking fabulous over here. You have to have it in order to make our liner brush thin enough, right, to drop off a seriously thin little branch, right? Now, the bigger that you push, the more it's going to leave a mark, right? And then we're going to drop off a ton of little brushes and such off of this little guy, little branches and things. And the more dark tree branches that you have out there, the more it's going to kind of intermix with our colors when we go to do the little willow mossy hangy deals, which I like to call them. That's what we like to call them over here, the willow mossy hangy deals, okay? Now, first things first, let's put down a little bit of shadow. And I'm talking about very light amount on the brush, right? We're wiggling down, we're going through. And then what we're gonna do is, especially off this back side, as all you can see our light is coming from the top. So we're gonna take this, just like a waterfall. So we always do a little waterfall. Little waterfall section. You can turn the brush on the side like that to make it very sharp, right? How do you want yours to drip and hang? How much is there? How far does it fall down? There we go, right? We got some off the back side, which I told you, the majority of all these little branches are gonna all be lost, right? This is just with the Paint with Josh fan brush and our plaque mixture, which you can find. We're gonna line it up, drop it off, right? Line it up, drop it off, just like that, just hanging. Woo! Look at it, it's fantastic already, right? We don't need every piece to be all exactly the same. Even up here on the top, just very lightly. I don't need a whole lot of paint, but look at that Paint with Josh fan brush, just dropping off the crazy stuff. You could call that Spanish moss if you wanted to, literally. You can literally call it whatever you want, just like a little waterfall hanging down in the night, right? On our sides that have more light, right, we're gonna use less of this dark mixture. Drop it off the side, right? Again, how crazy, how nuts do you want your guy to be? Drop that thing out of anywhere. Just chuck it on there. I'm being totally for realsies, right? We have to have this side be a little bit darker than our front side is, okay? But we don't want to put on so much darkness that we can't see everything like we usually do with our pine trees and such, right? It doesn't even have to go all the way out to the end. Take this guy, drop something off of him, literally just revealing the branch at the very top. You can have this one go further over and drop down more things, and a little dip, and a little dip, right? Where do you want it to be? Totally up to you, but you got to use those Paint with Josh fan brushes that come in the Paint with Josh brush kit, you guys. The brush kit is amazing. You guys. Man, I love that brush kit. You just can't even tell. Can you tell that I like the brush kit? Okay, let's get out there with some green and such, okay? We're gonna wash off our brush that has all that darkness on it. And then up here at the top, you know what you can do? Literally take that Paint with Josh fan brush, wipe it off on paper towel, come up in here into our yellow ochre. Wiggle down onto the brush. We got enough paint on there to hold it together, just like before. Now up here where these guys are getting hit by light, touch, right? Not trying to cover all the darkness. We don't need every piece of dark to be covered up It doesn't all have to droop all the way down to the bottom. You guys know every time we do things, we can do them a little different. We can drop off a bit right off of there that had nothing on it to begin with. And just by grabbing a little bit of that tree trunk while we're doing it, let these guys fall. Now, the black and the yellow will mix into a very dark green if we keep doing it, right? So, if we need, only if you need it, right? Or if you feel like you need a bit of a brightness, let's grab some of that liquid white and put it into our yellow ochre, which will allow it to deposit off of this awesome PaintWithJosh camera. Even lighter, right? Be brighter. We'll have less of a touch. Let it fall right off the edges, just like a waterfall. Seriously. How do you want yours to look? Turn it on the edge. You can grip it longer. You can have some back in here. You can dump them down, make them really bright out there on the side. And it's definitely a trust the process moment for sure. Because I was teaching myself, I was painting this one earlier today. And I'm like, oh man, that looks kind of funky. Like, oh, I don't know anymore. I don't know. But I kept going and I kept going and we came out with a pretty cool one, right? Now, let's go back. We got all that yellow. Let's come into our dark green, our sap green color. Getting it down onto our fan brush. Right? Just wiggling down from the paint. Pulling it onto the brush like that. The old PaintWithJosh brushes, they're amazing, you guys. Come off this darkness. Same thing. Drop it down, right? Let it intermix in with that dark paint. Because the more paint that we can have out here that mixes in. So we have that little bit of green that's going over less of that darkness out here. Maybe it hangs down a bit further. All up to you guys, seriously. Then you can go back over it with your dark if it becomes too bright. Right? Say you had too much green on there. Like, no, it's okay. You can go back over it. It's perfectly fine. Tap it on a little bit. Drop it down. Work it, work it, work it. Right? A lot of these guys will intermix in together. So you're up here and you had too much paint and came down too far and let these guys kind of overdo that. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It needs some depth in there, right? We have to cover some stuff. You gotta get up here very light. Very light again. We may have to go over that guy with a bit of our yellow again, but it's perfectly okay. Back here behind the brightness, dragging it down, down. Just trying not to cover everything. And if you do, it's okay. I did it in my one over there, right? In this one, we're trying to do it a little bit differently. So we can get a little bit of that green, mix in with some of that yellow, some of that black mix, drop it off. And there's a little guy that fell off right there. Right? These PaintWithJosh brushes, guys, I'm telling you, you got to get over with Craft Ammo and get these because there's only a few left. That's the reason why we're doing this whole thing. There's only a few of them left, and if you don't want to get left out in the cold, so to speak, then you better get out there and grab them brushes while you can, I'm telling you. Now, maybe it's looking real green on the cameras because of all the light in the studio, but in reality, it's very dark, and I don't want it to be too dark. But we're going to take a little bit more of our black mix, come back in here, especially into these shadowy areas, launch in a bit more of that stuff, just letting it mix in. All this nice oil color, it's all wet, it's all mixing down, falling in. We can decide how light we want it to be, if we want to have some shadows falling underneath it. All things are up to us, you guys. Quite honestly, for real, whatever you wanted to do, you could do with these brushes. I'm telling you. Drop this guy off. Now, as we're filling it in, right, we're going to go back with a little bit of our yellow as well. Go back over those guys. And then start typing in a few more branches. And then we're going to check it, as always. So all you got to do is just check in. Tell me where you're watching from. That's it. Just where are you from? Where are you from out there, guys? All over the place. Boom, ba boom. Then we're going to throw our trunk on this tree. Really make it stand out, guys. Trust in the process. I'm telling you. Wiggle down on this guy, making him a little darker. Right? Bring it down just so we have some of our shadows down into our grassy area is all you really need. Okay, now let's get a little touch of that liquid white. And a little bit, a little bit of that, a little bit more of our yellow ochre up here. Wiggling down onto the brush, a little brighter. Remember, we gotta have some real bright spots. Real bright old areas up there. Very lightly falling down over all these other colors up here. Back in here, maybe some off the side. Touch, right? Too much of a touch, gets too bright. Then we're gonna have to go back over it with our other colors and darken it back up again. Right? There's never a mistake. You can't mess it up because there's always a chance to go back and do it again a little bit differently next time, right? A bit of our light falling down and hitting, catching on these little things. It's really cool looking. Now let's get up in here. Let's take a little touch of our PaintWithJosh palette tool, which everybody loves. Literally, they love the size. They love how sharp it is. They love its rigidity, right? How much it doesn't bend. But some of them bend real far. You get a lot of bending movement inside that thing. And the Paint with Josh one, people seem to love it. So if you want to get yours, I'm telling you, you gotta head over and check them out. That's all you gotta do. Just go check it out. And if you're over there, just use code JOSH20, and that's gonna get you 20% off of that normal, which is a screaming deal, if you ask me. When literally everyone that I've ever talked to says they love the Paint with Josh brushes. All right, we see it in the groups, we see it everywhere. Let's put a little bit of texture up in there, and we're just tapping at our tree like this. And with that extra rigidity of the Paint with Josh blade, it doesn't bend so easily, you don't swoosh on so much, okay? Come back over to our yellow ochre, we're gonna make that tree trunk just shine, right? We'll take about a 70% mix of yellow ochre, a little bit of our two brown colors over there, mix it up, there we go, right? It doesn't have to be pure bright yellow, but even that brightness right there, scraping up a little bit onto the blade, coming over here and tapping onto it, you can instantly see a brighter side of the tree, right? As the more that we tap on, the more it's going to intermix, the more it's going to blend its way down and get darker and darker with that shadow that's back there catching some of that light, right? Now, you can go over as many times as you want your tree trunk, or you can grab a little bit of this pure yellow ochre that's out here on the very edge and make it really bright. Like that side's really catching it, right? Then it kind of fades back. The more we do, the more we go back, the more distance you put in between those little areas, and so you're not catching all that light at the same time, right? It doesn't just flow through and hit everywhere. Now, it seems like I might need a little darker shade right in there, picking up some of that brown. Right? I'm just gonna come back over here, darkening down any areas that I don't like, just a little waterfall technique. It's just hard to see through, okay? Now, what if we grab a little touch of our liner brush, we came out here, and all you guys gotta do is just tell me where you're watching from. That's all. Let me know if you've got one of these Paint with Josh kits. We're gonna come up here through some of that stuff and not try to make it complete, right? Now, if I come back over that guy, even with the big old 2-inch brush, and just very lightly kind of make him almost disappear. You see that? Just kind of go over him a little bit. Do you see the vis yet? So we're dropping in just little indications of these branches, knowing that we're not going to see them all, right? Our brain wants to see every branch, but you have to know you're never gonna see every single thing out there, right? I'm gonna restart the TikTok stream, you guys, just so if you're not following me over on the talk, better follow me over there, and then we're gonna restart the stream, get out here, fix that little bright spot out on the edge, and I think we're gonna be looking good. Yeah, this one's gonna be cool. This one's gonna be cool. You've got 2 of them, Mindy. I appreciate you. 2 sets over there, right? Again, the more we drag through this guy, dropping off little indications, not even having them fully connect on, just kind of starting in the middle of somewhere, dropping out a little chunk over here, dropping out a bigger piece over there, and the more little branches that we can see, the more we're gonna like it. There we go. Yeah, just kind of just dulling that down just a little bit. Not every piece, of course, is gonna be perfectly exactly the same, but you know what I mean. Let's see. Oh, that's kind of cool. All right, we're gonna restart over on the talk over there. Bingo, bango. Get rid of that stuff. It's so silly, you guys. Literally so silly. Okay, over here. There we go. All right, so craft ammo. Do we have an update on how many? Oh, you got another one, Robert? That's amazing. Remember, if you get one during the live, you get entered in to win that signed one. So, all up to you when you want to grab yours, literally. Craft ammo is literally in the comments waiting for us, waiting to help guide you on how to get one. Man, it's neat, you guys, just neat. All right, let's start throwing in some grass back here. Then we can always go back in and fix our guy later on, right? We're gonna grab our Paint with Josh 1-inch brush this time. Looks just like this. An amazing brush. Look at that guy. Oh, he's just gorgeous. It makes the best grass you've ever seen, too. So we'll come in here with a little bit of our sap green. Then we're gonna grab some of our yellow ochre as well. You can get your Indian yellow if I had any left. I used it all prior, but a little bit of that guy, a little bit of that guy, just to brighten it up, just a touch. And all we're doing is shrinking the brush down, almost making it like a fan brush, so it's very small. Then you can come out here and decide where do you want your grass to be, just by tapping it out, coming back in here, tapping in another place, tapping it, flipping the brush, tapping it over and over and over and over and over, right? Not trying to skip, not going like this, not jumping, areas, right? We don't want to jump. We want to have very tightly together, smooshed little grass patches. And our brush is at an angle like this, right? So we can tap on, it's not straight at the canvas. Tapping back here, tapping it down, following underneath those little lines. And you can get the coolest looking grass you've ever did seeing by using this PaintWithJosh brush. I'm telling you, right? Now, let's wipe this guy off just a little bit. Go back and get more just pure yellow ochre, right? Now that we've got that green down there, over our black blank canvas, we've got nothing there. You can come in here and start really lighting up areas, right? Now the more that you touch it, the more it's going to kind of dissipate and go back to that darker color. So you can decide if you pop one on that's too bright, you go, oh, just go over it a couple more times. It's fine. Don't even worry. Come up here, tapping on it. You can start working down your other direction, picking up your grass or your piece of your trunk down there first, because we need this side to be a little bit darker, just like that. We just pop in a little bit of grassy field right at the bottom. Those PaintWithJosh brushes, I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. Let's see, less than 50 to go, you guys. There are only 50 kits left. Less than that, excuse me. So, be sure that if you want one of these kits, you gotta get, you know, I've been telling you where to go. The mods are telling you where to go. Literally. If you want one, go get one. They're amazing. I like them. We're gonna take a little bit of this dark green, our sap green, go into our plaque mixture on both sides of the brush over here, and create our darker side. Now see, that seems like a lot of paint. So what I'm gonna do is spread it out, and go back in and tap at it, and tap at it, and tap at it, until it kind of dissipates itself down into a little bit of darker color. Down in there, where you want your grass to end, right? What do you want to have? Where's your light coming down? Do you want to have it so straight across like that? Or do you want to have it reach out into other places? That's all up to us, right? How far is our light going to reach down here? It could be a little dip, a little dark area, a little space. Space in the grass where there's a dark shadow, right? Little things all depend on us, seriously. We call the whole thing right there shadow, or a reflection of the painting or of the tree itself, if we don't cover over all of it. Very cool. Very neat little thing, you guys, honestly. How easy can we make it for you? Very cool. Now, I'm gonna wash off my fan brush. We're gonna go back to a little bit of my liquid white, just so I can get a little highlight touch on there. Just a little old guy, all right? I'm gonna come back in here, a little bit of my greens, brightens it up a little bit. A little bit of my yellow ochre. Makes it vibrantly green instead of that pale green color. Okay, and let's just decide. We got a little piece. Move it up a little bit. On the top. Wherever I want it to be. Round, at least on the top. I like that though. Very cool, guys. A little bit. Tap it out. Tap it out. Not every piece is going to be perfectly straight. I have some little areas along the top. I'm telling you, with those PaintWithJosh brushes, it's hard to beat, guys. They're really cool. Maybe we'll do a little Seascape tutorial as well in this video. And just launch up a whole nother canvas and keep going, guys. What do you think? Should we do that too? We can do both. We can do both things. Going off this direction, letting that thing just guide us, tell us where you might see some little piece of light. Just some little bit of light here. Get a little bit darker as it gets down. Just a little bit more. There we go. All these things hanging, light areas over dark areas, can give you shadows and different little bits. Touch it, drag it down. Very light, very lightly. Don't do too much. Don't pull it down too far. There we go, as we keep going further and further and further out there. This one I'm assuming he's going to be the brightest. He's sitting out there. We need to have a little touch of that brightness back behind some of these guys as well. If you can sneak it, there we go. And it'll look like you got brighter things on the back side of our tree that are hanging over. What do you guys think? I like it. I like it. That's a wicked cool tree. This one's also available. You guys can grab it, right? It's up to you. Out there in the night. Wicked. Oh, it's just wicked. It's wicked. Okay. So remember, if you get your kit during the show, that will get you entered in. And you might just get that free signed Paint with Josh brush box, which is just wicked. I like it. There we go. A couple little things. What do you guys think? Looking good to me. Looking seriously heavy and dense, that old tree out there, right? Very cool. That's exactly right. Only 300 people in the world will have these limited edition brush kits. Literally, there was only 300 kits made. And if you want one of those kits with one of these wicked awesome liner brushes, guys, if you have the kit, tell the people how awesome these liner brushes are. These liner brushes, quite seriously, possibly the best brush I've ever had. Ever. Right? Oh, that's wicked. That's wicked cool. Wicked neat. Dudes, what if, just what if we took a little bit of this color over here? I'm just gonna see, what if we had a little, can we sneak in like a lighter color off in the distance and then have this guy kind of crisscross in front of him? All right, ooh, that kind of looks kind of neat. All right, but the problem is you gotta have this guy be in the front, so you really gotta be sure that green grass is gonna stand out. It's being out here in the frontals, cutting off that look at. You see those different angles? You can even sneak one in back there, having a cool little thing. We can always go back and darken him up just a little, but we definitely don't want it to be the same amount or the same color. And there has to be some bit of difference, some separation in between them in order to make one look further away and one look closer off in the night. Guys, it's wicked cool. Wicked cool out there, right? We can determine how bright, how soft. It could go from almost not being there to right in your face, or make it so soft that it might almost disappear. You might never even see it. Right? All up to us. Quite honestly, what do we feel like doing? Right? So if we feel like it, we can make it happen. If we don't feel like it, a little bit further away. A little further away. Okay, let's take our liner brush out here. We're going to go into a little touch of our odorless mineral spirits again. Right? Remember, if you want that signed brush kit, mods will tell you how to get it. Out there in the night. Scrape up. It's not dark enough. All right. Let's take a little bit more of our odorless mineral spirits then. And we're going to go into our plaque mix first. Grab a little bit of that darker color. Go into that lighter brown just to change it up a slight smidgen. Only so that it stands out away from our light color in the background. There we go. A little bit of that pure plaque mix. Launching a couple sticks and twigs just with that Paint with Josh liner brush. Literally smallest, softest, most excellentest liner brush on the market. And if you like it, right? Then you gotta get yourself. Let's get out here. We're gonna do one more little thing. You guys have to start coming up with a title for this painting. I'm gonna grab a little bit of my odorless mineral spirits. And if you grab the painting, you get to pick the title forever, right? We're mainly pushing the brushes, but the painting is there as well. And all you gotta do is go check them out. Let's see. Out there in the night. Man, we also have a different version of this little willow tree over here that we did earlier today. It's like a little practice for this guy. Look at how thinly you can throw in just an old little family of birds out there. Oh man, they're kind of hard to see, but I like them like that. I like them, guys. Here, remember our whole canvas is wet. There we go. We have the right amount of thinner and paint in the brush if you want them to come out right. There we go. Very, very cool. Very simple and only used 5 out of the 9 Paint with Josh tools that come in the kit, guys. The 2-inch, the 1-inch, the big fan brush, the palette tool, and of course, the amazing liner brush is all we really needed for this painting. Quite honestly. All right, we could do all sorts of different things, but as far as having a cool little singular, little simple painting that you guys can do in less than an hour, seriously, you could do this in less than an hour. And I'm excited to see your guys' versions of this painting, honestly. Honestly excited to see your versions. Hello, about drop my brush. Over here, over there. Now, I'm wondering, since we only did about half hour to do this whole painting, I'm wondering if we should do a second one, and we'll flop it, and we'll do a seascape instead. And then we'll show you all sorts of stuff with those brushes, but you got to tell me whether or not that's something you want to see. All right, should we do another painting in this live show with the Paint with Josh brushes only and show you all the cool seascape things you could do with these brushes? I'm gonna get out here and sign this guy. Just a little bit. Actually, I don't want it to be so bright. It's gonna be a little bit of a brown color kind of thing. Should we show you a seascape with those Paint with Josh brushes as well? We could do it. We could do literally whatever we want to do out here in the night. Right, should we? I'm assuming you guys are all saying yes. I'm assuming you're all saying yes. Remember, this is the brush kit that we're using today. It is the world famous Paint with Josh brushes, right? Don't mind the splatter on my old box, but the Paint with Josh brush kit, really cool. Comes with 9 different brushes, and you can grab them right now, I'm telling you. Just use my name and the number 20 when you go to check them out. That's all I'm gonna do. There. Now, if you're watching over on the TubeTube over there, that's where the manufacturer of the brushes is also on. So you can ask them questions and all that sorts of stuff if you're watching over on the TubeTubies, right? So we're also streaming to the book and over to TikTok. So you guys, like I said, let me know where you're watching from out there while I clean off these brushes, and then we'll get ready to maybe do another painting. Maybe. If you guys want. But if you don't want, then you better tell me now. Tell me now. There's just less than 50 of these days left. That's insane. That is insane. Less than 50 kits available, guys. Holy moly. You guys want to see another one? Yeah. You can't believe how easy or how quickly it was done, right? It's just a lot of times we don't like to waste time. There's always another canvas that we can try, right? There's always something else we can do. To try to fix what we didn't like the first time, right? That's the whole thing. That's the whole philosophy. There's always another canvas, always another opportunity to do it different, to try it one way or the other. Okay, guys, we got to come up with a title for this one real quick, and then we can do another canvas just live right here in front of you. Let's go. You guys are funny. Hi. How can I help you? We're actually closed. Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm in the middle of a live show right now. No worries. Please come back to the clock. All right, what are we gonna call this one, guys? Oh no, Jacqueline, that's okay. You can still grab them if they're left, right? There's limited quantities available. But if they're left, you can still grab them. You just won't be able to use the code to get them for less, right? That's the whole point of pushing them tonight. Is if you grab them tonight, you'll get them for less. Oh, looks like we just got the someone got the other painting, the other willow tree painting that we did earlier today. Thank you for that. I'm gonna have to check after I get off one of these streams, and we'll have to see. But man, you guys, there will always be a link to order them at another time. I'm hoping, Craft Ammo, by the way, we're hoping that we're going to redo another set or relaunch this set. By the way, guys, I think I emailed you guys about it. I kind of want to drop 2 of the brushes out of the kit, make it a little bit smaller, a little bit less expensive. But we'll talk about that later. But in any case, the link, you can always find the Paint with Josh brushes through Craft Ammo on my website as well. You can find them there. All you have to do is scroll down, and it's like literally the second thing you're going to see right underneath this painting. It'll be a little thing. It'll be, you know, Craft Ammo, Meaden, supplies, all this stuff. And you can get them right through there as well. So, all the time available. Now, what did we come up with for a title on this one, you guys? Anyone got a title out there in the world? Add more brushes, don't remove any? That's funny. Willow in the Mist. I like that, guys. I dig it. Let's call it that. Let's call it Willow in the Mist. Man, that's cool. Let's take this guy over there. Over here. This one's number 2061. And it's called Willow in the Mist. But I spelled it M-I-S-S-E-D. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. And on 9/18/2025, we're all going to go to check out this painting and those brushes. You can find them on my place or on Craft Ammo. But you gotta head over there and check them out. Now, if we're gonna do another painting, okay, first things first, let's get this guy up here. This one is a black gessoed canvas from the bottom to the top. Right, a little Oregon coast painting, which you guys know are my absolute favorites to paint any time of the day. We can paint an Oregon coast painting, and Josh will be happy, right? The only unfortunate part about this one is I didn't plan on doing this, so this one will not be available until later on when I can end one of the streams, since I'm using all three of my devices. I won't be able to make this one available. That's okay. That's okay. All right, so we're gonna take our Paint with Josh 2-inch brush. We're gonna really make sure that we cleaned it, that we dried it, kind of smacking it on a paper towel. I'm gonna get this guy out of the way so it doesn't get ruined. And then you guys, we're gonna do you a Seascape with the Paint with Josh brushes, a double feature show. Can you imagine a double feature? And should I try to get this one done and we can do 2 in 1 hour? Like literally 2 in an hour. And we'll take our Paint with Josh brushes. They spread just as easily as the Bob Ross brushes do, right? Everyone's always like, oh, they're not so stiff, they're not as firm. Well, yeah, I didn't want them to be the same exact brushes. What's the fun in that? The Paint with Josh brushes are much more for fine details. You can get them into tighter areas. You can get them into harder to reach places because there are less bristles on the brush, which make it smaller. Make it easier to not touch something that you didn't mean to touch with those big old Bob Ross brushes. Now, I am not saying that I don't use those other brushes. I still use those other brushes. I've used those brushes since the beginning, and I will continue to use those brushes, but I have a very specific job for the Paint with Josh brush kit, right? Those guys I use at specific moments when I need specific shapes that I can make that the Bob Ross brushes can't make, right? Now, let's wipe off all this excess clear, getting rid of all that stuff out there. We're gonna take our same brush, right? We go into a little bit of our liquid white. So I didn't clean the brush, it just went right into the liquid white. Come up here into the top and let me show you the coolest thing you've possibly ever seen, okay? Anybody who's never seen a Paint with Josh Seascape or one of the Oregon coast paintings that we do, you're in for a treat. Now remember, this is already wet, right? It's already slick and dry. All we need to do is just very lightly graze across. We're going to put more of it on when we do our actual sky, so don't put on too much of the liquid white, you'll lose all those mountains in the background, okay? We're gonna leave a small little triangle out here. We're gonna come right down, and instead of crisscrossing anymore, right? I had a student do this, and I was like, you know what? I've never actually said that before, so thank you for doing that. Now I can tell other people. Up here, we're crisscrossing, making figure eights like this, right? Crisscross, 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 crisscross. Okay? When we get down into our land, we want everything to be horizontal. And I didn't realize that I had never said that before. Look at this, though. The more you put that liquid white across that liquid clear area, the more it's going to ignite our sandiness and have a little bit of fog in the background, right? We're only really leaving a small, small, small area of untouched black canvas back here for a reason. It's for a reason, you guys. Now, let's grab our blue right over here again. Paint with Josh brushes, still with that liquid white and the liquid clear right on the top of it, right? Coming up here. We're gonna drop down. Look at how gorgeously these brushes can blend a sky. If I'm lying, strike me down. Look at that, just 3 or 4 swipes. Bang, look at that blue. Look at that blue in the background, you guys. That is amazing. Right? The more you mix it with that liquid white, the more it's going to become lighter. The more that you cover over these darker areas of canvas, the more it's going to disappear, right? So you've got to be the judge in that's where that color is coming from. There's a bit of color trying to sneak its way up the brush bristles right here, and every time we were contacting it, it's like dropping a little streak in the sky. I'm like, where's that coming from? Ah, I found you. So we'll get a little bit more of our paint. Now, the more that you crisscross over these blue areas, the more they will dissipate and go away, right? Look at that for a sky. Seriously, didn't even look at all these. Look like clouds, right? They already look like clouds without you even having to do much, because we didn't over mix it. We didn't do too much, right? So already, now we can change up the look of the whole sky just by adding a bit more blue, blending it, and then again stopping at a different moment and saying, what does that look like? Oh, looks like more clouds in the sky, doesn't it? Now let's take our big old fan brush, our Paint with Josh number 8 fan brush. We're gonna load that sucker up real full and come in here like this and just start mushing it around. You see how I'm not holding it like a pencil? I'm not out here like this, guys. We're holding it like this so we can spin it back and forth. This is why I made them round, not square handles, so you can spin it easily, rotate it, pop them around here, make a mess. Look at all that. That is perfect. Quite honestly, all those little bits that pop up there and they're just weird and odd, those are your clouds, right? Tell me that doesn't already, just with a mush of white paint, look like a cloud. Okay? I know it already does, so you can't be fibbing on me. We're gonna come back here with our Paint with Josh 1-inch brush, the old soft and flop we like to call it, because look at those bristles, look at how much movement you get. And you're not even moving. Look at how much the bristles are moving, but we're staying in the same place, right? Lots of give, it's very floppy, the bristles of this brush. And then you can decide your pressure. Do you wanna push real hard and bend them real far, right? Or do you just want them to barely move at all? Because that's what we're talking about. When we talk about the amount of paint and then the amount of pressure that you then push on that paint, right? The more pressure that we push out there, the further it's going to go. Look at those. Look at those clouds. Honestly, Paint with Josh brushes, right in front of your eyes, clouds. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that honestly amazing back there? I don't know what the heck happened over here, but because our canvas is wet, we can blend that guy away pretty good. Now, let's take some of that blue sky color as well. We're gonna drop it on down in here, making our bright sandy beaches out here in the day. Whatever we want. And we're gonna come back and add our brown later. Listen to that slap though. Yeah, baby. Right? That's the Paint with Josh brushes, man. I'm telling you, they are wicked cool. The more I mix over that guy, the more indistinguishable it's going to be, correct? So it's all up to us in what we do and how we do it. Let's come back in here, a little bit more of our blue. Okay, now we're gonna go, there we go. Look at that blue, little touch of black, just a small bit. We don't need to have too much. Gosh, that's a lot, Josh, but it's okay. All things are fine. Come out here, oh, that's a lot of black paint. But that's, again, it's fine. Everything's fine, everything's fine, right? We're gonna try to keep it this nice little tight little triangle of color back in there. Pop in a little bit of my pure blue, kind of right underneath him. There we go. Yeah. Now we got this little triangle out in the night, right? Or the day, or whatever time it is in your place. And by triangle, I mean sharp right here, sharp along our horizon, and then to a point. So the closer you bring this point over here, the closer our waves are going to be by allowing it to become bigger. Now, when we get out here, we're only going to fill up half of this amount of section, and I'm still betting you that I'll be done before 6 o'clock Pacific time, which is in 17 minutes, 16 minutes. I'll be done before then. We'll come over here, we're going to scrape up a little bit of our titanium white onto the Paint with Josh palette tool, which, with its rigidity and stiffness, is one of the best palette tools you will ever find in your life. And I'm not the only one that says it. Literally everyone that comes to my classes and gets to use the Paint with Josh palette tool, or the people that have gotten them, have messaged me and said, this is honestly the best one ever. I got a message from Mark the other day that said, dude, your filbert brush is the best filbert brush I've ever used in my life. I was like, for real? I don't even really use the filbert brush. It's one of the brushes that I plan on dropping out of the kit. If we do another kit, I plan on losing that filbert brush. But he was saying how much he loved it. You know what I mean? Which just goes to prove that everybody is gonna like something different, literally, every time we do something, you know what I mean? So you can't please everyone, honestly. Now we're gonna take our Paint with Josh fan brush out there, okay? We're gonna get out along our little area and very far out here in the distance, we're just gonna kind of tap on it a little bit, just to make a very small, it looks like a liner brush out there, right? With this old guy. The more that we tap onto it, the bigger our little waves are gonna be. Now it's perfectly fine that they're at different levels. It doesn't have to be a straight line. Now, I usually do, let's see if we can do, should we do it like, should we try? Oh, Jesus, how do I do this? I feel like you guys watching me do it with my right hand and then being like, how does he do that? He just goes like this and just smacks it. Okay, we're gonna try. Okay, ready? Here we go. All I wanna do is contact the front corner first. So I don't wanna hit it full on like this, right? I wanna bend it away from the canvas, almost like a flat plate that we tipped towards the canvas like that, right? And then I'm gonna, ooh, yes, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna start making bigger splotches, trying not to cover all of my darkness, but also getting bigger on this side, starting to pop up in front of, ooh, look at that, you just touch it right on the edge. Look at that for a Paint with Josh fan brush, how about that? right? Trying to come up into my horizon a little bit, but not the whole thing, right? You don't have to do the entire, you don't want to lose all the paint. Just kind of tap into it, and this has that liquid white and titanium white mix on it. You can see how you can make a very small little spot into a very large spot just by changing the angle that the brush hits the canvas, okay? All these things, guys, you cannot do without Paint with Josh brushes. So I'm telling you again, there's limited stock. There's less than 50 out there on the shelves waiting for you. Craft Ammo, do we have an update on, or have we got any more? Have we, let's see. Yeah, they are out of the UK and they ship worldwide, just like old Paint with Josh. We're gonna come over here. We're gonna grab the very, very, very bottom of this guy, slide it out. Right there, just the littlest bit out. Get my big old head out of the way. I'm sorry. Out. Right, just a little bit, about halfway. Now that we're over here into a bigger space, it's big enough for our 1-inch brush to now grab. We're going to very lightly mix it like 3 or 4 times and then pull away. Right, and come back here 3 or 4 times, pull away. 3 or 4 times, pull away. 3 or 4 times, pull away. Bam! Literally, pull it out. Get over here. Done. Over there. Done. Right? The more that you do in here, the more it's all going to mix up and be exactly the same. And that's not how you want it to be. You don't want it to be exactly alike. Right? We want it to be different. So we're going to come back in. A little bit more of our liquid white, a little bit of our titanium white like we had before. And this time we're going to do it right-handed. We're going to come over here. We're going to smack on just a couple more little details. Pop, 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 pop. A little bit of bright area. Hey, that's it. A little messy. Okay? Now, come back. 2, 3 swipes. Move. Okay? 1, 2, 1. Oh, I literally can't even do 2. I have to do 3. My hand won't let me do 2. So I gotta go 1, 2, 3. Out of there. 1, 2, 3. So I started over here, and by the time I was done 1, 2, 3ing, I was already an inch over. I'm not staying in the same spot. It's almost like a street sweeper. We're going across the canvas like this, just hoping to pick up some garbage, right? Hoping to make it just move a little bit, right? We're gonna kick a can that's gonna shoot down the road over there. That's all we need to do, a little bit of mess. Now we're gonna come back in with our palette tool, and if you are left-handed, okay, this will be an easier thing for you to do versus if our horizon is over here going this way. It's much easier for right-handers to do this side, much easier for left-handers to do this side, because with a right-hander, we'd be dropping out the tip or the front of the blade, and as this right hand, we're gonna be dropping out the back side of the blade, which means we're going to want to tilt the back of the blade out towards us, away from the canvas, just a little bit as we go down, okay? It's more difficult to do it on this side, which is why every time, or most times, I like painting it on the other side, only because I'm right-handed. Also, if you are left-handed, okay, you are not going to be holding the tool like this, right? You are going to be holding it like this, in which case you are want to go like this and attach the paint onto the back side of the tool. When in my case, I am holding it like this and then pushing this side down and attaching the paint onto the front side. Well, my front side of the tool. Yours is backwards, you're the lefty, okay? Now, we don't need to see too many things way out here, and our very first contact point is always very thick with the paint. So let's start in the middle, right? Start dropping it off and literally scraping it in a little Z shape, getting lower and lower and lower, like a robot. Lower, 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 lower. Small little things. We're not going giant side to side, right? Little. Now, the littler or the smaller that your line that you can make, the more it'll move for you, right? The bigger ones you're doing, you're dropping off too much in between. Okay, I'm gonna come up here, real tall, right? Always gotta start at a higher point, reaching down to a lower point, in which case I lied, we're actually tilting the back of the blade into the canvas, taking the front away, right? As you start moving, we're basically gonna be going like this, like doing a wheelie, like wah, 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 and just doing a wheelie on the way there, right? Looks pretty cool. Is that level enough for my eye is the question. Does it need to come out a little bit further is also another question. All up to us. How far do you want that water to sneak out onto your beach, right? Now, when we're doing these things, again, deciding each time that we want to do it, how many little things that you want to have out there. Then we're going to come at with a lot of our liquid white, right? And you can see why they call it liquid white. It's very drippy. It comes off of the blade very drippy, when our titanium white would never do that. No matter the brand, it would never drip like that, right? So we scoop up all this paint, the Paint with Josh palette tool again, Comes in the kit in craft ammo. Did we ever get an answer on how many are left? Let's see. 43 sets, you guys. 43 sets. Now, check this out. Let's say you went way too far. You're like, oh no, what have I done? There's actually, in real life, on the other side, there's a river that comes off from that side. So it really wouldn't make a difference, but we're gonna mix it up anyway, right? Now, we're gonna take all of this paint over here. We're gonna come out here, we're gonna scoop up that very liquidy white with a little bit of titanium white paint in there. And like I say in all the videos, there's really only one way to mess this up, guys. You know the one way. What is gonna be the one possible way, right? And we're gonna mess this part up. No matter if you got years of experience or if you're brand new, what is the only way to mess this part up? If you've made it this far and you haven't messed up yet, congratulations, first of all. All right? It takes a long time to get through to where you're watching a tutorial and you don't make a mistake, right? So, what's the only way to mess it up, guys? Let's see. Losing our dark separator. You deserve a gold star. Losing our dark separator, exactly, right? So, over here, I'm gonna show you the difference, right? What happened there? Lost my dark separator. Can't tell what is water and what is beach anymore, right? Because there's no darkness over there. So if you lose your dark separation everywhere, right, then you're not gonna be able to tell what the heck is going on. And all we're doing is very lightly pulling down with our PaintWithJosh 2-inch brush from Craft Ammo, an amazing brush, cruelty-free company, amazing company. Right? Pulling down, pulling down, pulling down. Now, does that look like wet sand to you? Just yes or no. Right? Just yes or no. That's all we're looking for. We got 9 minutes to finish the painting. Maybe we'll go over 6, just a little bit, right? Now, I'm assuming you're saying no, but what if I did this? And I pulled all those vertical streaks and turned them into horizontal streaks. Right? Does that look like more like that wet, glossy, sandy area down there? Man, it sure does. Now, let's take the remainder of this liquidy white stuff and we're gonna work our brightness out until there's just nearly no separation left. Teeny, teeny, tiny, tiny amount of that separator that's left back there, right? The more that we scrape in, the more color that we have, the thicker our lines are gonna be. It's gonna feel more like water, it's gonna look more like water, and it just has to be messy. That's literally it. What do you want yours to look like when you're doing your painting? It just has to be messy. Just throw some, like literally, just like that. A couple little, and it looks like watery waves crashing on the shore. Really cool. Now, let's come back in here. We're gonna take our smaller PaintWithJosh fan brush, the size number 4. PaintWithJosh fan brush number 4. Come out here, tap along the edge, kind of filling it. Again, if you're left-handed, you're going to be wanting to hold it this way and tap along the edge here so you can go through left-handed. As a right-hander, and like most of us, we're gonna come out here and I wanna check and be sure that I don't have too much on there, right? I don't really have anything I can do. There's no way to hold it and like show you at the same time. And down here, you might not be able to see. Maybe against the easel right here, right? And just flick it. If you can see a couple little bits come off of there, then we're gonna be all set, right? We're gonna come in here, we're gonna start flicking into the watery crashing wave bit, and then stop it. We don't need to go way down the edge. We're not gonna be able to see those from way over there, right? The more that we have in here, the more it's gonna happen, right? And then your brush might get clogged up. And if it gets clogged up, you go wipe it out or clean it out, come back in here, start throwing some more of those splasher bits. They can go up into the sky, they can be down into the water, they can be here on the sand. You can do whatever you want. Honestly, doing whatever you wanna do is the best part about it. Now, let's go back. We're going to mix up a little bit more of our PaintWithJosh black mix by taking 2 parts black, 2 parts crimson, 1 part black, 2 parts crimson, 2 parts blue, and mixing it up into a very dark color. All right, this very dark color is going to serve as our shadow base for our faraway rocks and such, right? Now, maybe you've got a little teeny tiny little flat little thing way out there. Just by tapping against it with a little bit of paint, you can create this faraway little looking deal, right? We're gonna wipe off our blade so there's basically nothing left. Come underneath it and just scrape a little bit. Again, we're not trying to make our shadowy area too big. We're just trying to make it softer so that when we go across it with our liquid white, it won't try to blend in so much, right? Now, back to your liquid white area. You don't have to finish this guy all the way to the side, right? Maybe that's the only thing we can start to see from that water line. And as we start scraping, you can see a little bit of that darkness underneath that bit of bright, a little bit of brightness underneath the darkness back there, and you got yourself a cool little thing. Now, it doesn't have to keep going down at this straight line forever. Whatever you want to do, however you want to drag it back, making it seem like you got a little bit of water kind of rushing back towards your wave, you can do that. And then you can come in with something bigger. Wow, a big old monster, right? Making him larger. Again, trying to match his shape along the bottom, just a little. But you're going to come down here and just basically scrape away at the nothingness of paint that's down there, just so there's not too much. Back in with our big old 2-inch brush. Very light, very lightly. Pull on it too hard, it's going to want to grow too far. Right? And just like that. Little reflection, you guys. Now you can come up. Maybe the water didn't get all the way above him on this guy. Right? Basically just coming straight down. Start to turn our blade though. Right? The angles are most important. So now instead of being straight, we're kind of turn it on an angle like this. Now it's at almost like a 45 versus being down here. It's up here like that. That way it will drop out the backside of the blade a little bit easier as well. Okay? You don't just have to leave it like this. If you don't like it, you can literally grab it and slide it backwards, making it a little softer. Pulling it back, straight back though. Don't try to go up. Don't try to make it up like this. We don't have any big rolling, crashing waves, just very straight across. Less than 46, what they say, 43, 46 kits left. Guys, I'm telling you, you need this Paint with Josh kit. If you don't have one yet, you are messing up, I'm telling you. Now, let's go back in. We're gonna grab a little bit more of our 2 brown colors onto the brush. A bit down there, we're gonna start from down here. Okay, now, depending on how much brown I let interact with my sand down here, you can see how dark it is, right? You are in control of how dark it gets. So the more paint that you put on there, and the more you pull it towards your water, the darker it's going to be, right? The less paint that you put on there, and the more that you mix it with that already pre-liquid white that's there. Watch this, if you didn't like that area either, just literally blend it away. Like, how far do we want to take that water line back up? Blend it, you'll get a difference in your sand. You'll have a bright area, a dark area, whatever, right? Look like we could walk out onto this beach yet. That very light bit of paint up here. Remember how I told you we just weren't going to give 2 schmokes about what was up here? Boom! Mix it up. Mix it up. Mix it up. Just like that. That's very, very, very cool. Now you get this fogginess back there. We forgot to put our trees back in there, which we could do. We forgot, but it's okay. We can do them. Get this fogginess back in there that's going to be feeding up into all of our trees, which we nearly forgot to do. So let's take our Paint with Josh fan brush. Another way to showcase the brushes. Let's pop this guy down here, right along the top of our water. Pull it back like that. Okay. Start up here, tapping down in a little line, then next door, then a little bit lower, lower, lower. Okay. Go back up, kind of match it. Go back down, down, down. So you're making like a little pyramid, a little triangle of trees, and then every so often we're punching up another little bit up there. All right. And these guys are going to have to get tall really fast. Yeah, how big do you want to have them? It's all up to you. How small do they get down? All up to you again. And then how steep is our forest that's coming down here? Because we have to get up tall enough there. Yeah, get up tall enough up there to cut in front of the darkness in the back. That's going to make it push back into the distance. Take this guy out here, grab him up. Pull out the bottom so it's a little softer. Then we're going to come in here and just tap at it, okay? The more that we tap at the bottom, bringing it down into the darkness, we're getting light color onto our brush to bring back up here, and then down and back and up and down. And I'm telling you guys, right now, you got to use that code we've been telling you. Josh20, if you want to get a wicked cool bit of savaging. Right, now we're going to grab a little bit of that liquid white in our water and let it track up, just like that. Covering over little areas, dragging up on our guys to make them little sharp little trees in the background. Isn't that the coolest? Like literally, how much cooler can a painting be? We're gonna finish the edge on this guy too. Gorgeous, guys. Now, let's just say, man, when I did my forest, oh, I lost all my mist. That's okay. Come back in here into your titanium white. up into here, make a big old cloud like we did before. Right? Big old mess of a cloud. All we did. Come back in, let's do our taps again. Or you can mix it up like this. Very lightly, and then when you're gonna do your taps, you gotta hit it real hard. Right, kind of bending down on the whole brush. Just pop, 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 pop. Letting all that misty stuff pull down in here to give ourselves a little bit of reflection from our bit of trees or whatever it was. This stuff is all wet, you guys. You can go over it a million times. You can do different things. You can change it up. You can go back and make it all white again if you wanted to. Honestly, totally up to you guys every time we do one, right? So let's take a little bit more of our plaque mixture out here. Let's say, come out there, just down onto my edge area. There. Just so. We had a nice little spot right down here. Perfect. Mix up this little guy. Even with the PaintWithJosh fan brush, you can do some cool stuff, guys. I'm telling you. Been telling you. Tell you all the time. That's cool. Okay. Let's get out here now. We're going to do one more, at least one more big old rock. We can even put one way out here in the water. Crashing or getting crashed upon, just like so. You don't need to have too much of its reflection down into the water because the water's not really reflecting back there very well. But, just like that, you can do whatever you want to do. And then come back in with a little bit of that white. So, bing, bang, boom. Right? It's just about to get demolished into that rock. One more little guy down here. Let me do a little flat guy down here. Just drag it across. Right? PaintWithJosh palette tool, guys. I'm telling you, it's a wicked awesome thing. Everybody that seems to use it just loves it. Quite honestly, loves it. Now, is that a piece of driftwood or is it a rock? Who knows until we decide what it is, right? Back in again, very lightly. Down, swiping it. Soft, just to get that little bit of difference in there. Okay, and we can come back in since our line almost connects right there. Drag that one, kind of cutting back through, taking it back to the ocean. Not every piece has to be filled in back there, but just like that, seriously. Then we can break off of this guy, continue on down, down, down. How far do you want your water to roll in? Are you trying to have it roll in and touch your feet? Or do you want to have it be very far away out there? Here we go. Yeah. Again, we're in control, my friends, all the time. Take our little fan brush, get a little touch of our liquid white on there, a little touch of our titanium white. There we go. Nice and glossy vacuum, dragging these guys back. Guys, isn't that cool? Just seriously, it's only 6:03. Only 6:03. We almost did it. And we almost did 2 in 1 hour. I wasn't trying to, but we almost did. Come out here a little bit more and extend this guy now. Right, making it broken and odd and weird. We get to choose every time how far it gets to come out. How much paint is on our blade is a very big determining factor there. Right, big old fat ridge out there on the front. It's going to actually feel and look like water by the time we get done too. This one's gonna roll in and hit our feet, you guys, honestly. Come and hit our little toesies out there. Whoa! Almost forgot we had a rock back there. Mix some of his shadow back down into the waves. Guys, that's freaking cool. That is cool. And again, we're just shaking up on the blade, pulling at it, moving it, pushing it. We're gonna push out a little further, further. To make it different and odd, you know what I mean? Now, let's do one more big old guy up here in the front, maybe even right there. Just a large monstrosity of an enormous bit of rock. I never like them to be all like perfect on the top either. Give it a weird thing. Pull it down, make it big. Make it big. There. Okay, let's shape this guy. Maybe he's coming down this way, maybe then drops off. Who knows, right? You can't just all pull it in one direction. Pulling it in one direction, that's not very cool. And look at, even with all that thick paint, just how soft the PaintWithJosh brushes are, that we did not move too far in one direction or the other by pulling that paint, even though it was extremely thick right there. Just goes to show how soft they are and what you can do with these big old monsters, right? Okay, let's get out here a little bit of our 2 brown colors. We're gonna throw our shadows onto our rocks back there, and then we'll use our brown, the same brown from the tree to go and highlight, showing you can literally use the same colors and have wildly different results, right? Each time that we go to do these, just depositing a little bit of my darker color, seeing what I can get to stick on to that already thicker, darker color back here. And let's just say if all of our light is hitting it from this side, we want all of our shadowing off the back. So scoop it up, deposit it. Remember, the PaintWithJosh palette tool comes in the kit, which you can get at a deal, but only during the live. So I'm giving you longer chance, a better chance of getting one. The longer that I stay live, the longer that code stays active, right? So drop down, this guy's pretty sharp. We will cut it at a different angle as well, right? Because not every time it's just gonna be this perfect thing. Cut it back for how far we want that light hitting. You want to come up higher into your shadows and have the light grab onto the rock over there? What do you feel like for your rock when it comes time for you to do your painting, right? That's the whole main thing. What do you want it to look like? If you want it to look like a certain way, you've got to make that happen, right? By either lighting up one side, leaving some shadows, leaving some darkness on the bottom or around the back. We don't even have to put any on this guy, but we will, just a little bit. A little touch onto our little friend back there. It's about to get swallowed up by the waves, right? Every time that we do it is another chance to do it differently, to try it another way, to see what will happen, because that's when it becomes fun, doesn't it, guys? When you have that, like, what's gonna happen if I do this moment, right? Those are my favorite moments, because you're like, all right, I've done this, I've done it again, I've tried this, I've done that. I've taken our little palette tool, dragging across very lightly, very gently, right? And then you get that, like, all right, what's gonna happen if I do this? And that's when the painting becomes really fun, because you give up that fear of like, oh no, I'm gonna mess it up, and that becomes, ooh, like, let's experiment and try some stuff, right? When you try some stuff, that's when you seriously start having fun. Seriously. You're in Oregon? That's awesome. I'm down here, Dustin, in Eugene. We've got a studio down here, and I can teach you how to do these things just right here, live in front of your eyes, and and you can take classes and all sorts of stuff. You just got to come find me down here in Eugene. I love Eugene over here, guys. It's so awesome, so fantastic. The weather is just great. It's beautiful out today. Awesome. Wash. So this one is also about to be finished, guys. We don't have much left to do beyond putting in our little sandy technique that everybody loves. So you're gonna have to start coming up with a title for this one as well. And remember, that means that the show is almost over, and you're gonna miss out if you don't get these PaintWithJosh brushes now. You will miss out, right? With the ones we used a fair amount of them in our liner brush, the 1 inch to 2 inch, the small fan, the big fan, and the palette tool. Also comes with a bush making brush, a filbert brush, and a flat brush. That's the filbert. That's the flat brush. Looks like a little square top. So all these guys come in the kit that I'm using today, and that we used on both the paintings, which literally just came out fabulous, man. I love the tree trunk on the other one too. So let's get out here and let's throw in just a little bit of sand onto our scene. And in order to do that, we need a slightly wet brush, a little bit of our odorless mineral spirits, a little touch of the paint, and then little flicks, right? If our flicks are too big, then we're going to have like boulders instead of little sandy specks. So they just flick off right on the thing. Remember, don't go up too high. We can't see the sand way off in the distance. Now let's go back again with a little touch of our brown color. It doesn't matter. I usually use the lighter color brown, so the dark sienna, the raw sienna, whatever. All right, pop on a little bit of that guy. Don't want to have too much again, so kind of give it a little test flick. All right, perfect. I know how hard to flick it now. Again, don't want to allow them to climb up too far. Stay down here at the bottom, and if they get into your area of your water, that's perfectly okay. It's going to look like little pebbles and stuff. It's perfect. Okay, we'll come out here one more time, wash that guy off. Little touch of our liquid white, just a little bit now. Don't get on too much. Get too much on there, it's really going to become an issue, okay? Same like we did out here where we were flicking on our little specks. I think we can even cover that guy up a little bit. He's got a couple little bits of water kind of falling over him. We're going to do the same thing down here. Just flick on, flick on, flick on, back up. Remember, don't get too dang close. And the more little white specks that we throw onto this guy, the more like shending-ish it starts to look. Then we can go back over this front view and his highlights. Isn't that crazy? How you can get all those little sandy speckles in there just from tossing on a couple little bits of white. Isn't that cool? Isn't that so cool? Now, like I said, with these guys, when you don't want, or where you don't want those liquid white specks, just go back over it a little bit. It'll blend in. Normally we do the specks and then we put the highlights on. This time we forgot. It's fun. Under a lot of stress, okay? Trying to get the last of the brushes to find new homes and everything else, but you can literally take away those little white specks, just like that, going over. You got a really cool scene, awesome little sandiness. Now you guys just got to come up with a title for this one, and remember, this one you can't have because I wasn't planning on doing 2 paintings during this show. But remember, when the show ends, so does the promotions. Therefore, you cannot save if you don't get it or get these brushes during the show, right? So if you get them during the show, you are entered in for a little giveaway that we're going to do at the end, where Craft Ammo is going to pick, well, I'm going to pick a number, and they're going to associate that number with an order, and that's going to be the person. So, come up with a title for me first. Then make sure you get over there and get these brushes, because you're going to be entered in to get the one that's signed, the signed kit. The one and only. These little brushes away before I get them any dirtier. You must see the signed kit. This looks like right here. So I'm going to have my fingerprints on them. That's the signed kit, as you can see. The Paint with Josh signature right there along the side, a little smiley face. That's the one that even says send to the lucky winner right there, because it's not up to me. If you want to get in, you got to be ready to get yours and get it over on their side over there. Craft Ammo, that's where you got to go. The mods will tell you. It's pretty easy to find. Pretty easy to find, you guys. Now we got to throw in the old family of birds flying through the sky, of course, and then put our signature on this one. And you guys got to give me a title for it. And then we're going to be looking for that winner, I guess, because we'll be all done for the evening. Look at the misty fog, all of such, and just go caw. Oh man, that's a brand new liner brush versus the one that I have been using is clearly getting worn out because my birds don't look like that anymore. Brand new spanking Paint with Josh liner brush, you guys. We'll give you the crispest, the most crispity of birds or tree branch lines or whatever you want from that Paint with Josh liner brush. I'm telling you, that is a gorgeous piece of work right there. It's a gorgeous piece of brushery right there for you. This one's cool. This one is cool, guys. Take our stuff back here and just make it a little harder to see. There we go. And the more that we mist that area up where you even can't even tell where the rock or the water lines are, kind of fade into that stuff back here. Very cool. Now you can't tell where it's coming from. That's the best part. At least with Paint with Josh paintings, I never like to show everything. I show you how to do everything, yes, right? But we don't have to see the water line that's on the opposite side of something so far away that you wouldn't be able to see it anyway, right? You don't have to paint it there either. All right, you guys start coming up with a title for this one. Remember to get your brush kits. There's only a few left, guys. And when they're gone, they're gone. Limited edition run for years. You gotta go check them out. Oh, this one is nice, guys. This one is nice. Before the Pines, that's cool. That is cool. Hidden Beach, I like that for a title. Thanks, Helen, appreciate you. Yeah, Dustin, I'm in Eugene. Oh, you're in Grants Pass? That's awesome. caught you live. Well, you got to come down and check me out. I'm telling you, we got a cool little store down here, a little studio. The Roaring Mist in the Mist. I like instead of like in the night, in the mist. I kind of like that actually. That's really cool. Look at the water on this one, you guys. Quite honestly, have you seen anything more fantastic in your life? Bring this one down a little more. Yeah, just want a nice brighter spot down here. That is freaking wicked. Just skim him out a little bit. Skim him all out. Look at that, dude. That is so cool. Lots and lots and lots of texture in this one. So remember, if you are interested in this one, it is not available because I didn't think that I was going to be doing this show as a twofer with 2 paintings, and so I didn't list this one as being available, right? So if you keep an eye on my site or follow me on the book, then I'll post both these with the links and all that, so you could grab them if you wanted to, and yeah, it'd be fantastic. So clearly, it is time for me after, shoot, God, Craft Ammo, how long have we had this brush kit out? When did we release it? It was in like, was it in December or November? However many paintings I've done since then, which is probably 500 or 600 paintings, I finally think I need to start using, you know, or replace my PaintWithJosh liner brush after 500 thousands of tree branches. I mean, and I paint literally every single day, 2 times a day. So think about how long yours is going to last. These are serious quality brushes. Even that thin, with that amount of thin bristles, they haven't kinked. It hasn't dried all weird and been like this. You know what I mean? Like nothing has happened to these brushes in over 1,000 paintings. That's incredible. That's how I like it actually. So it's nice and spread apart, and that way I know that it's dry, or it's going to dry perfectly. And then when I get it wet again, it goes nice and just sharp. That's what you want. So clearly, after so many, earlier this year, okay, so it was this year, that's what I thought. I didn't know if it was March or if it was prior to that. I think we did it back in the old studio, and we moved into this studio in March. So, dude, not even a year, and we're about to have them fly off the shelves. That's freaking cool. So beautiful, my eyes are mesmerized. When do we go live? I'm gonna go with In the Mist. I like that. Can we pin that one over on the top? We'll go with In the Mist, and then I'll answer the question. I go live at 5 days, well, 5 nights a week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And we go live at the same time of night every night, which is 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. on the East Coast, or one of the 3 times in between if you're on Central or Mountain time, right? And then I think it's 1 a.m. in the UK. By the time we finish, it's usually about 2 a.m. in the UK. So, Daphne, thank you for staying awake until 2 a.m. to do the brush promo with us tonight. I appreciate you guys so much. I am so ready for every one of them to be gone and to have everybody, you know, using them. Everyone that has them already loves them, can't say a thing bad about them. And there's just so many cool little different things that we use those PaintWithJosh brushes for specifically. Like these trees, every time I'm doing these trees in any painting I've ever done since I got those brushes, that's a PaintWithJosh fan brush, right? Everything. PaintWithJosh palette tool, all this stuff, right? The liner brush we've used. God, that liner brush, I'm so proud of that liner brush. If you don't have one, I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. It's a quality brush kit. Plus they come foam fitted in a collectible box, right? You got your 3 Ps of PaintWithJosh, of course, the 3 Ps. This is like a poster. It's like nice hard card stock, right? It's got some of my quotes on the inside. PaintWithJosh limited, PaintWithJosh and Craft Ammo limited edition artist brush collaboration features Joshua's favorite palette tool, along with 8 brush shapes and sizes, all elegantly nestled within an exclusive PaintWithJosh original gift box. Daphne, did you write that? That's amazing. And you guys know my quote that I say all the time. I've said it since the beginning. We can always add paint. We can never take it away, right? How many times have you heard me say that? Be easy. Go easy on the paint, because we can always add more. Can't take it away. If we put a big old blob up there and it's too much, can't get rid of it, right? So we just have to keep adding more and more and more. So let's do the giveaway deal, Craft Ammo, and yeah, Jacqueline, I'm telling you, if you get them now, you're gonna get them for less, right? If you get them tonight during the show, while we're live, right here during the live, you're going to get a 20% break on the cost, which I believe brings it back down to the initial what we released them for that first week. If you would have gotten them during the first week, I think they were 90 on that first week, and then they went up, and we had said that was going to happen, you know what I mean? Kind of incentivizing people to grab them in that first week, and a lot of them went, and then people have slowly been picking at them and getting replacements and stuff like that. And the more times you guys see me paint with them, the more you guys want to get them, and that just warms my heart. What's this one? 2062, I believe. There we go. Because it's not even in the store yet. What are we calling it? In the mist. Instead of the night. In the mist. I like that. Painted on the 9/18/2025. All gonna go check out my place, Paint with Josh. Of course, right? Everybody knows how to use the interweb. 3 letters you put at the end, right? But if we say that, then it becomes a big deal. Or you can go check out Craft Ammo's place over there on Craft Ammo. It's AMO, right? CRAFT AMO. They have the brush kits, along with many other fantastic artists like Joni Young, Robert O'Rourke. I am in a very well-respected group of people that have brush kits with this company, right? You haven't heard of Joni Young or Robert O'Rourke? I don't know what you're doing. Do you follow anyone besides me? I mean, thank you for not following anyone besides me, but those guys are huge names on the tube. They've got some serious stuff and some gorgeous brush kits available as well. So it's not just my stuff over there with Craft Ammo. They have tons of collaborations with tons of different artists. And I'm just lucky enough that they chose me. They were like, hey bro, do you want to have your own brushes? And I was like, yes, it's a dream of mine. I would love to have my own brush kit. I said, well, guess what? We're going to do it for you. I said, all right. And then after, probably it took a year to test the brushes, have them send me some, try them out. Nah, let's add more bristles. Let's take away this. Let's do that. And then when the last one came, oh man, I'm so happy. And then when we finally released the brushes, it was, you guys ever seen South Park? You see that character Craig? He's like, I was so happy. That was me. I was so happy that we released those things. We did that red light challenge, which probably wasn't the wisest thing to do for the release. You know, looking back on it, I thought it was a good idea at the time. We probably could have done a regular old painting too. But man, this one came out cool. Came out cool, guys. Yeah, so just say Joni Young does acrylic paintings. Did you know that the Paint with Josh brushes work for acrylic and watercolor and oils? They span the test of time and medium. Across all mediums you can use Paint with Josh brushes, which I just think is amazing, honestly. So we picked a title. All we need now is for Craft Ammo to tell us who is going to win the giveaway. Oh man, so just absolutely chug. Oh, just chug some orange lava burst from Old McDonald's. This stuff is amazing. That's the only thing I ever get over there. Fabulous. All right, so I can pick a number between 1 and 12. Well, if London was here, okay, she had to leave to go help Bailey do it's like parent-teacher meet night at school. The school just started for us up in the Pacific Northwest. We get to start way later than you guys, but also to go further into the summer. But if London was here, and we had to choose between 12 and 1, my number, and she would, like, every time we would go play roulette at, we used to live in Las Vegas, you know what I mean? Every time, gotta play 11, gotta play 11. So 11 would be my pick. Number 11 is my choice. And all you gotta do is tell me who that is, and then we'll get it sent over there. Man, this one came out so good, you guys. So stinking perfectly good. Love it. Love it. Soften this area a little bit more. There we go. Sometimes you can't see due to the lighting until you look at it from a different direction. And you're like, ah, I see it. See now. Alright, there we go. Nice and soft. We want it to be a little softer. A little here, a little there, wherever we want. There we go. Best part about it is it's supposed to be mysterious. Okay, so number 11, you guys. Who was that out there? Okay. Thank you for the note on that. I appreciate your note and took it to heart and fixed that little misting area. Cynthia, Rob, Cynthia is getting the signed PaintWithJosh brush kit. Going with number 11. Worked out for you, Cynthia. My goodness and a half, you guys. That means if I'm thinking of the same person, it means I have to send it up to Canada. Ooh! It's okay. It's okay. It's the price that we pay, right? Very cool. Where's Cynthia at? Cynthia! Man, that's cool. Drum roll, please. That's neat. In the mist. I like that. Very cool. Came out amazingly awesome. Congratulations to Cynthia. Hey, she's watching over on the talk. She's like, what? I won? Cynthia, I'm going to be getting your info from you. And since you're in my Discord anyway, I could probably get a hold of you that way, or Craft Ammo will send me over your information that you inputted to them when you placed your order, and then boom, we'll be able to get this signed brush kit out to you. The lucky winner. Woo, look at this guy. Sealed, signed, gorgeous, right? Amazing, amazing. And it even comes in a little box. Dude, the packaging for these, goodness, like, firstly, they come in their own foam-fitted box. Then they're sealed in cellophane. Then they come in this brown box, which is inside a bubble-wrapped envelope inside of another box. Like, these brushes cannot get hurt on the way to you. If you're in the US, they may take about 2 weeks for them to arrive. That's usually about how long I have to wait, because they ship out of the UK, worldwide company. So it's absolutely well worth the wait, though, if you're gonna wait for your brushes. Congratulations to Cynthia. I can't believe that your very own free signed PaintWithJosh brush kit. There's literally only maybe 3 signed brush kits in the world. So congratulations on that. Seriously, awesome, amazing, amazing, you guys. I love it. So let's end the show. And she's like, yay! She's freaking out over here. Let's see. You have Discord, Jacqueline? So if you send me a message and I can get you the Discord link. If you follow me over on the book or Instagram or anything like that, I can get it over to you pretty easily that way and just share them with you. If you watch over on my TikTok, there's a way to join it through watching on TikTok. But if you're not, then it doesn't make sense explaining it to you if you're not watching over there. Always got to finger paint a little bit. No matter how many brushes I have, always got to get a little paint on the finger in there. So, you guys have been amazing. I love yous all. I got to see who. I know we sold a painting during the show, but yeah, Levi, we do. So the only problem is this one is not available, right? This one, I didn't get a chance to list prior to the show because I didn't think we'd be doing a landscape and a seascape in the same video, in the same like 90-minute show. So, if you like this one, right? Give me a few minutes after the live ends and it will be available on my website, paintwithjosh.com. Besides that, you can also find the brushes right on my same place, or you can go direct to Craft Ammo, CRAFTMAO, dyslexic. It's just like hitting the button. CRAFTAMO. Okay, we got it. It's fine. We took us a minute, but we got there. Okay, so either Craft Ammo or my place, PaintWithJosh. You can head over there. You can find the brush link. It'll take you directly over to Craft Ammo's place, or you can find not this painting yet, but it will be there along with other paintings, plus the one that we did earlier today, which just came out fantastically gorgeous. Do you guys remember when we first started? And we did just a little sunsetty little willow tree out there in the day, catching some light on our branches and stuff like that. A little light study with our willows, right? You guys remember that one? Does it seem like so long ago? That willow tree one is available right on the homepage of my place, PaintWithJosh. You just have to go over there and find it. It doesn't have a photo yet because we did it live during the show, haven't ended the show, therefore I haven't been able to take a photo of it. So that little sunsetty, orangey Willow tree is the very first thing on PaintWithJosh.com. Besides that, this will be there next as soon as I finish this show. And I can't wait. Seriously, you guys have been amazing. Everybody, I can't wait to see your versions of these painting tutorials that we also did today. Send them in to me on the Book of Faces at official Paint with Josh. Type in the little @ symbol, official Paint with Josh, all one word, or Instagram, Paint with Josh K. TikTok is Paint with Josh K. And if you want to watch my videos on YouTube, go to youtube.com/paintwithjosh. I want to thank my sponsor, Craft Ammo, for the brushes. This we're thanking sponsors, Think Meeting as well. They sent me a new cart we made videos for, and all sorts of things. I really want to thank all you guys for being here and for watching the show and just interacting and commenting and liking and all that stuff. It really helps a whole lot more than you know. Be sure to get your last of the Paint with Josh brush kits before they sell out, and they might be gone forever. They may never come back. Literally, like Craft Ammo has said, only 300 sets were made. It means only 300 people in the world will have these brushes. Very exclusive kit. So if you don't like them, head over there and grab them. I do love you guys, and we're going to get up on out of here. Thank you, Craft Ammo, so much, seriously, for the opportunity to have a brush kit with you guys, and also for being here tonight, for pushing the thing, for creating the set, for making them so freaking pretty that we don't even want to put paint on them. Every time someone opens it up, they go, I don't want to use them. Like, they look too nice to even use, like a piece of art themselves. So, Craft Ammo, you guys did an awesome, fantastic job. There still seems to be a few left, so the lucky ones that are waiting, or maybe you can't get it tonight, maybe you're waiting on payday or whatever, they're going to be there. You can find them either on my place, paintwithjosh.com, or craftammo.com. You guys have been amazing, and until I see you guys again next time, enjoy those brushes. Take care. Rest of a good day. And whoosh, my goodness. Gracious. That was cool. Thanks to Craft Ammo. You guys are awesome, seriously. Seriously amazing. Quite honestly. Thank you guys, everybody watching over on TikTok, everybody watching over on the Tubi Tubes. You guys have been amazing. I'm going to flip the TikTok audience around right here so you guys can see my wicked awesome haircut. Maybe you've seen it already throughout the show. But yeah, everybody watching over on the tube, I'll say goodbye to you guys next. I love you guys so much. Thanks, Craft Ammo, for being here. You guys have been fantastic. Can't wait for you guys to rewatch this video and get those brush kits, man. I'm telling you. So until I see you guys again next time, take care. Rest of a good day. Boosh, my goodness.